Most people think that the way to get lean is to just do more cardio. Run more, cycle more, sweat more. And sure, cardio burns calories, but if you're relying on it for fat loss, you're setting yourself up for failure. In this video, I'm gonna break down the 4 key reasons why cardio is not the right tool for fat loss. And then I'll show you what to do instead if you want results that actually last. The first key reason is something called metabolic adaptation. And this is when your body starts to burn less and less calories for doing the same type of exercise. As an example, let's say that we run for 30 minutes. And the first few weeks, you burn 500 calories by running 30 minutes. But a few weeks or a few months in to doing that same type of exercise, your body adapts and starts burning less and less calories for the same type of exercise. So instead of burning 500 calories, you start burning 450 and 400 calories and 350 calories and so on. And if you're using cardio as a way to lose weight or as a way to put yourself in a calorie deficit, this is eventually going to lead to you having to do more time on the treadmill or do more time on the cycle to burn the same amount of calories that you were doing in the beginning. And that's how you end up doing an hour of cardio or 1.5 hours of cardio to continue to see results in your weight loss.
Today we're doing an hour cardio on the Stairmaster. I do this every day, 6 times a week.
So the more cardio you do, the less effective it becomes. And you end up stuck doing more and more just to maintain. And that leads us to the second key reason, which is that it's unsustainable. So if you're using cardio as a way to put yourself in a calorie deficit and you need to do more and more cardio to keep staying in a calorie deficit, you end up doing hours and hours of cardio every single day for weeks on end. And eventually you're gonna get tired because nobody wants to do 1.5 hours or 2 hours of cardio every single day. Only crazy people that like to do marathon and they're like masochists, they like to do that shit. But normal people don't want to do that. And that's what usually happens. So people that start doing cardio as a way to losing weight, and you end up having to do more and more cardio, you see results, and that gives you like a motivation boost, so you keep doing it. But eventually, when you reach your goal weight, you're gonna stop doing that cardio because you don't want to be doing that much every single day. And it's not really sustainable. Like, nobody can sustain that. We have other things to do in life, and we can't be out running all day. So when you stop, you regain all that weight again, and sometimes even more. And that's why the cycle of weight gain and weight loss is so common. And the third reason is muscle loss. So when you do cardio for hours on end, day in and day out, you're putting yourself in a calorie deficit and you're losing weight. But losing weight doesn't mean that you're losing just fat. When you do a bunch of cardio and you're putting yourself in a calorie deficit and maybe in a very big calorie deficit, you're gonna lose fat, but you will also lose muscle mass. And the problem with losing muscle is that when you lose muscle, you also decrease your metabolism. So combining this with metabolic adaptation and slowing down your metabolism, you're putting yourself in a really bad place when you then stop doing all of that cardio. And that brings us to point number 4. When you're doing cardio every single day, that jacks up your stress hormones, especially cortisol. And when your cortisol goes up for prolonged periods of time, that messes up with your sleep. And when you mess up your sleep, you mess up your hormones. And if you want to know more about sleep and the hormones and how it affects your fat loss and muscle gain process, you should check out this video that I made here, where I go more in detailed about sleep. You just need to know that when you sleep bad, that messes up your hormones, especially your hunger hormones. And it's also going to make it so that your body is going to hold on to more fat, and losing fat is going to become very difficult. So if you want to put your body in a place of fat burn, then sleep is extremely important. So by doing excessive cardio, you're not putting your body in a fat burning environment, you're doing the exact opposite. Of course, there's benefits to doing cardio, like cardiovascular reasons, like it's good for your heart and it's good for your health, it's good for your mind. So yes, you should be doing cardio a few times a week. But the key point that I'm trying to convey here is that doing cardio for fat loss is not the right thing to do. If you want to lose fat, these are the things that you should be doing. So instead of doing cardio, when it comes to your training, you should be doing resistance training 3 to 4 times a week at least. With resistance training, I mean heavy exercises. It could be done with weights or without weights. Your body weight works fine. You can do that at home or you can go to a gym. It's just the difference is that you're pushing your body, you're working your strength with resistance training exercises. Yeah, it could be push-ups, squats, pull-ups, and other types of exercises that work your muscle and stimulates your muscle to grow. And by growing your muscle, you increase your metabolism. So you increase the amount of calories that your body burns by just doing nothing. So the amount of calories that your body burns at rest. So you're not only going to burn calories when you're training, right? When you do pull-ups, when you do push-ups, when you do squats, you burn calories, but you'll also burn more calories even after. Stimulate your muscle and try to train as close to possible to failure as you can, because that's where muscle growth happens. Then you obviously need to be eating enough protein to help stimulate that muscle growth. So you can be training a bunch, but if you're not getting enough protein, your muscle is not going to be able to grow. So eating enough protein, you want to be eating at least 1 gram per pound of body weight, 2 grams per kilo, I like to say, because then you're going to be way over what you need, and there's no harm in eating too much protein. It's actually good for you, because when you eat protein, that helps keep you satiated, which means like you're not going to be hungry all the time. And that's what so many people that start following my meal plans, is what they tell me, like, hey, I'm losing weight, but I'm not even hungry. And that's the beautiful thing about eating an animal-based high-protein diet, where it's like you're not hungry all the time, you're satiated, you're getting the nutrients that your body needs, and you're losing fat at the same time. If that's something that you're interested in, if you want to check out my meal plans, you'll find a link for them in the description below. Now, another thing when it comes to the diet, like we mentioned before, like the reason why people do cardio is because they want to put themselves in a calorie deficit. So when you do resistance training and you increase your muscle mass, you increase your metabolism, and you eat high protein that helps keep you satiated and fuel that muscle growth, you're already putting yourself in an automatic state of burning fat and building muscle. Last key step is to then, if you want to improve the process or make the process faster, you can put yourself in a calorie deficit by just eating less than your body needs. But here's a key thing, like if you put yourself in too much of a calorie deficit, like if you do a crash diet, you'll lose a bunch of weight, but you're also going to be losing muscle, which we don't want. So the key is to put yourself in a slight calorie deficit, like a 20% deficit, so that you have enough energy, so you have enough calories for your body to build muscle and maintain muscle, but take away all of that fat that you don't want. You can even lose weight by staying at maintenance, or even a slight surplus. It is possible. Like there's studies that show this, and it's actually possible to lose weight while even being in a calorie surplus. That's called body recomposition, and I have a video just about that. Those are the 3 things that I want you to focus on instead of doing cardio if you want to lose fat. So do strength training, eat enough protein from animal-based sources, and then make sure that you're in a slight calorie deficit or close to maintenance, and you're gonna see fat loss. And if you think that all of these things seem a little bit confusing, or you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do, just go download my app, and in there I'll give you a complete workout program to follow and meal plans that you can follow day by day. It tells you exactly what to eat, and it's personalized for you, so you know exactly how many calories you should be eating and how much protein you should be getting. It's all calculated for you. It gets updated every single week, every single month. So if that's something that interests you, make sure to check out the links in the description below. So just remember to build muscle, protect your metabolism, eat real food, and put yourself in a slight calorie deficit, and you'll burn fat on autopilot and without spending hours on end on the treadmill. That's gonna be it for this one. Thank you for watching. I hope that you learned something, and I'll see you on the next one.